Last night I found something on my wife's laptop that shattered me. A secret wedding board, filled with dresses, rings, vows.
For weeks, my wife had been acting strangely, but I kept telling myself it was nothing. Just stress, I thought. She'd spend hours glued to her phone, always angling the screen away from me whenever I walked into the room. Her laughter, once a sound that filled our home, now sounded different. It was lighter, almost secretive, as if it wasn't meant for me anymore. One evening she told me she needed some me time and disappeared into her room with her laptop. I've always respected her privacy, so I didn't think much of it. But as the hours passed, a knot of unease tightened in my stomach. Later that night, long after I'd gone to bed, I got up for a glass of water. Walking past her room, I saw the faint glow of the screen still on. She'd fallen asleep. I didn't mean to snoop, I swear. My intention was just to close the laptop for her. But as I reached for it, a notification popped up on the screen. It was a message from a name I didn't recognize. It read, "I can't wait to see you again." Counting the days, my heart started pounding, a dull thud against my ribs. I sat down slowly on the edge of the bed, the room suddenly feeling cold. Behind the message window, her Pinterest tab was open. Curiosity, a dangerous and powerful thing, got the better of me. But that curiosity turned to sheer terror the moment I clicked on it. It was a secret wedding board. A board filled with pins of elegant white dresses, sparkling rings, beautiful venues, and handwritten vows. My mind was racing, trying to make sense of it. Maybe it was for a friend. Maybe she was just daydreaming about renewing our vows? But then I saw the title, and my world shattered. Right there, in bold letters, it said, "Dream Wedding with Aaron." My blood ran cold. Aaron isn't me. Aaron is my cousin. My cousin, who I'd grown up with, who I trusted with my life. My hands started to shake uncontrollably as I clicked deeper into the board, scrolling through the images she had so carefully selected. Every single pin had a caption she had written herself. "Our colors," one read, next to swatches of dusty blue and sage green. "Honeymoon in Bali?" said another, with pictures of stunning villas. She had planned out the first dance song, what she wanted her future husband to wear, even the specific flavor of their wedding cake. It was a complete, detailed fantasy life she had built, a life that I had no part in. I felt like I was looking through a window into someone else's future, a future she had meticulously planned without me. I just sat there, frozen, staring at the screen, unable to process the depth of the betrayal. Just then she stirred and her eyes fluttered open. She saw me, saw my face, and then her gaze dropped to the glowing screen. A gasp escaped her lips. She lunged forward, trying to slam the laptop shut, but I held it open, my hand firm. My voice was low, barely a whisper. "Who is Aaron to you now?" She stammered, her eyes darting around the room, avoiding mine. It's just a silly board," she said, her voice trembling. "It doesn't mean anything." My laugh was bitter, hollow. "People don't plan weddings with their husband's cousin for fun, do they?" Her face went from pale to flushed with defensiveness. "You're overreacting," she insisted. "People daydream all the time." "It's just a fantasy." I looked her straight in the eye. "Daydreams don't usually come with hotel receipts, secret messages, and hidden passwords." She froze. The color drained from her face as she realized I knew more than she thought. She whispered, "It's complicated." I shook my head, feeling a strange sense of calm wash over me. "No," I said. "Betrayal is never complicated. It's a choice." She finally broke, slumping to the floor, her body racked with sobs. She confessed she was confused about her feelings, that it had all just happened. I had to know, how long has this been going on? She choked out the word, "Months." My stomach dropped. "And Aaron, does he feel the same way?" She gave a small, almost imperceptible nod. And that single motion felt like a knife twisting in my gut. I couldn't breathe. I stood up and walked out of the room before I said something I would regret forever. The next morning, the house was silent, heavy with unspoken words. I picked up my phone and sent a text to Aaron. "We need to talk," he replied almost instantly. "Where?" He sounded nervous, and that was all the confirmation I needed. We met at a coffee shop we used to go to as kids. He couldn't even look me in the eye. He mumbled, fidgeted, and finally he admitted everything. They had been messaging. Meeting up, planning a future. He told me she said our marriage was basically over. Hearing those words from him, from my own cousin, broke me in a way I didn't know was possible. I looked at this person I once considered a brother. You could have talked to me, I said, my voice cracking. You could have been a man about it, not destroyed our family from the inside. He kept repeating he was sorry, but apologies are just words. They don't erase the lies. They don't fix the betrayal. I went home and started packing her bags. Every item I touched felt like a memory tainted with deceit. She stood in the doorway, watching me, tears streaming down her face, begging me for another chance. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she cried. I stopped, a suitcase in my hand, and turned to her. You didn't mean to? You pinned every single detail. You chose another man. You built an entire fantasy life without me. She grabbed my arm, her touch feeling foreign. Do you still love me? She asked, her voice desperate. I pulled my arm away gently. Love can't survive lies this big, she pleaded, asking if she could just stay until she figured things out. I shook my head. You've already figured things out? Aaron is your choice, she cried harder, but she didn't argue anymore. She picked up her bags and walked out, shaking and silent. The click of the front door closing was the loudest sound I'd ever heard. My cousin tried calling me again, but I ignored it. I blocked his number, I blocked hers. The house felt painfully empty, but for the first time in months, it felt honest.